Well, in honor of this wonderful celebration of the anniversary of 10 Minutes of Torah, I'm delighted to share some words of Torah on a matter that's really been of personal interest to me. Of course, Shavuot is a time when we celebrate the gift of Torah and the moment at Sinai when the Israelites accepted Torah as their own. But there are other very interesting moments of events that happened during the wilderness in Sinai. Particularly one moment has always resonated for me. And that's the moment when Miriam and Aaron confront Moses, having to do with some issue related to his wife. But what's interesting to me is that as a result of confronting authority, Miriam, and Miriam alone, is stricken with scales. And we would assume that means afflicted with an illness like leprosy. And then she is sent out of the camp for 7 days until she has been deemed pure again and able to return to the rest of the camp. And then the Israelites move on. I've always been struck by that powerful moment and wondered what was Miriam thinking or feeling at that moment. We don't hear her voice at all. What we know is that after she was stricken with scales, Aaron goes to plead with Moses and asks him to intercede on her behalf. And at that moment, Moses offers a short blessing, El na rafana la, oh God, pray, heal her. It's a short prayer that's been set to beautiful liturgical music. Many of our congregations now use that as part of their healing services. From my perspective, though, I wonder if Miriam would have found that to be meaningful. Why was it that Aaron had to go to Moses, her beloved younger brother, whom she saved as a child and helped raise? How would she have felt by a short prayer of just 5 words and nothing more? Would she have felt that as someone who was ill and in need of help, her brothers offered her what she really needed? So wrestling with all of these thoughts, I wrote a midrash to try to fill in the missing pages of that text and wonder in particular what happened to her during those 7 days. There are 7 days that are just missing in our Torah story. So I filled them in using the voice of Miriam, and I'll share some of that with you now. Speaking for Miriam, eventually my eyes adjusted to the dark. Or maybe my focus changed, and that was the miracle after all. I saw that I was not alone at the bottom of my well. With me were the other marginal people, the malcontents, the rejects, the forgotten, the holy. At first I merely observed the others, the ghost-like shadows that skirted the fringes, moving in and out of the light, barely visible. In my fascination with these images, I forgot about my own pain. Here were people, or maybe they were angels, going about their daily business, rising in the morning, eating their meals, observing mitzvot, caring for one another. Here was life. Here were the outcasts of humanity, accepting their lives on their own terms, neither denying nor acquiescing. Here were broken bodies rising to each new day, clinging to a life where each pain-filled breath was an act of courage. Here were wounded souls that transcended their corporeal limits in order to remain in the corporeal world. Here were heroes. For 7 days I dwelled with the fringes. I discovered a world in that time. I learned more about love and faith and true charity in my exile than from all of God's or Moses' mitzvot. I learned what is and what is not important. I learned that illness is neither a source of shame nor of pride. I have lost some heroes, but I have found others to replace them. I'm no longer angry with Aaron and Moses. They are who they are, frail, fearful, self-absorbed. Nor am I angry with God, for I know that my illness was neither a punishment nor a test, but a difficult part of living. I don't even regret my suffering, for without it, I would not know faith. I do still fear death, but it is no longer a lonely fear. When I dance now, I gather my timbrels and dance around the edges of the camp. When I sing of God's glory, the forgotten heroes are my chorus. When I am in need of healing, I drink from the well that gave me sustenance in my despair. And when I pray, these are the fringes with which I wrap myself for warmth and strength and courage. So that's my rendition of the words that Miriam might have spoken at that moment in her life. I hope you'll take time to fill in the missing pages of the text in ways that resonate for you. Truly, this is a gift of Torah, and it's a gift for all of us to join in. So enjoy that process, and Chag Sameach.